Hi everyone, here I am with John Beecher here beneath the baobab tree. Actually, the baobab tree, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a pleasure meeting you and John. So tell us more about who you are. Why don't you tell our viewers? You introduce yourself and
Okay.
tell us who you are and what you're doing here in Kenya.
Okay. Well, first off, thanks for having me on the podcast. Very honored. But my name is John Beecher. I'm a math and statistics undergrad at the University of Chicago and also founding member of Sorella Labs. So yeah, Sorella, we're focused on AMM mechanism design, but yeah, we can go into that a bit more.
Definitely. So you guys are based in New York?
Yeah, New York. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. And you're the founding member of Sorella. You're also like the author and the researcher.
Yeah, I'm a researcher and writer.
Writer. Okay, great. And you also have a Kenyan connection, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Yeah.
Your mother is Kenyan, right?
Yeah, my mom was she was born here. She was born in Ngong Hills, and I think she moved here when she was I think like early 30s. It was like 2 years before I was born. Yeah, I was born in like Chester County, Pennsylvania. So,
And
right outside of-
do you often come to Kenya?
This is my third time here. But yeah, the last time I was here, I was probably like 12 or 13. So yeah, it's been a
So
while.
your first Eat Safari as well, I assume.
Yes.
Okay, how's the experience been at the Eat Safari?
It's been better than I could have ever expected. Like
So you
honestly.
flew in all the way from the U.S., New York, for Eat Safari.
Yeah. I flew in from Chicago. Yeah, I flew in for this. So it's kind of serendipitous. It's funny because I was just coming here originally to visit family, right? And then I saw that ETH Safari was happening, same time I'm here. So I'm like, oh shit, I might as well, apply
Yeah.
and come out.
What a coincidence.
No, right?
That's great. Actually, even for me, I wasn't planning to, to come for the Eat Safari, and I've always wanted to come to East Africa and Kenya. And then I happened to meet somebody in Dubai, like just 2 weeks ago, who is one of the co-organizers of Eat Safari. And,
Really?
and I had such a tight schedule. I was planning to, get ready for Token 2049 in Singapore.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm not going to miss this because this is a brilliant opportunity. It is going to Kenya, to East Africa, and then combining that with what I do, like, at the Crypto Hub. And it's been an amazing experience, and I really look forward to being, part of the future ones as well. So, getting back to you. So why don't you tell us about Sorella Labs and what do you guys do, and where you are at the moment?
Okay, perfect. So so Sorella right now, we just released Brontes, right? And Brontes is, think of it like Etherscan, but for MEV. It's like an MEV Explorer, data analytics tool dashboard. And so yeah, we've been working on that for about a year. It just came out, so if you want to check that out, sorellalabs.xyz. Sorrela, Sorella, and then labs, XYZ.
So could you explain for the sake of the viewers what is MEV? Because some of them might not know it.
Yeah, no, very good.
So like, what's the comparison between EVM and MEV?
Okay, so MEV, it stands for maximal extractable value, and it's this concept of how it's like basically quantifying or conceptualizing the value that is gained from ordering transactions in a block in a certain way, right? So a good example is like arbitrage, right? So if you see a big swap in the mempool and you see that the price on one exchange, right, of like, let's say ETH, is going to be different than the price of another exchange, right? You can buy low, sell high, that's a basic example of MEV. Other more complex examples, there's arbitrage between on and off chain exchanges, sex-dex arbitrage. There's sandwiching, where people will front run a user's order, artificially inflate the price. The user's price executes at a higher price, pushing the price up even further, and then immediately after that, the back run the transaction and then sell the asset for a profit.
Yeah, thanks for that. I think that kind of sums it up because obviously it's good to have the background. So you guys are focusing on those solutions.
Yeah. So how it started was we basically saw that there's a big problem with providing liquidity on AMMs. AMMs are automated market makers. They basically allow people to set up permissionlessly set up markets for typically two different tokens on the blockchain, right? And it allows anybody to swap between these two tokens, but it also allows anybody to liquidity provide, market make for these tokens through the AMM, through the smart contract. That's done through like a bonding curve for like Uniswap V2. It's like X times Y equals K. I don't want to go too deep into it, but basically we saw that being an AMM LP, right, who just puts their assets in, you don't rebalance, you don't hedge, you just liquidity provide and forget about the position. It's actually very unprofitable for them, even if they are getting money from the swap fees. and that's
It
because
is profitable. Yeah.
no, it's not.
It's not
No,
profitable.
no, it's not. And the reason because of that is it's a metric called loss versus rebalancing. And so all that means is it's the opportunity cost of the liquidity providers if they were to instead capture the sex-dex arbitrage and basically hedge and rebalance their position so they're kind of like delta neutral, like neutral from the changes in the price of the assets they're providing, right? And so yeah, we basically set out Sorella with solving this problem, making LPing on-chain like profitable. That's how we saw it, was that it's in the name, liquidity provider. These are the people who are allowing regular users to trade between different assets, in a decentralized way. And if that activity in and of itself is unprofitable because of how the chain is set up, then liquidity will go off chain and DeFi will slowly bleed out as people realize that LPing on chain is not a profitable activity. And you're gonna say something?
Yeah, so I was like, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just wanted to know, so who are your typical customers or users that would benefit from the services that you're providing, the tools you're building?
Yeah, so our main product, Angstrom, right? It will be a hook on
What is it called?
Angstrom.
Angstrom.
Yeah, ANGSTROM. And it will be a hook on top of UniV4. This is how it basically works, right? So we hold 2 auctions every block for a pool. The first auction is for the right to be the first person to swap in a pool. So what that does is it forces arbitrageurs to compete to bid back as much profit into the pool as possible, right? So if you're familiar with like the flash boss auction, right, that MEV boost, you can think of it as like, instead of the proceeds of the auction going to the validator, it's going back into the pool instead, right? So we're basically redirecting the flow of the value from this MEV back to where it originates, the LPs, the users, the people who are swapping. And so that's the first auction, and that mainly, it mitigates LVR, the sex-dex arbitrage, in the sense that it redirects value back into the pool. And then the second auction, that is a uniform batch clearing price auction. And all that means is that we have solvers and searchers compete to clear all the other swaps in the block at the same price. And that price is, the updated price post arbitrage. And so that removes, the possibility of front running, of sandwiching. So that also helps user execution as well. And
amazing. I think there's a lot of technical details here, which would be good to get into also in a separate session. And I'd love to understand that better. But currently, where is Sorella Labs at? Like, are you already in the market? Do you have user acquisition? I mean, how many people or clients do you already have that are using your solutions?
Yeah, so we just released Brontes, right? It's an open source data analytics tool. If you want to use that, go on our website. But Angstrom is yet to be released. We're planning to release it when UniV4 comes out, and so right now it's projected to be October, November. So sometime in the coming months. But our main, who we're really doing this for, right, is I could say DeFi as a whole, right? But it's more so the people who are using dexes like Uniswap every day to exchange between assets, as well as like liquidity providers, the people who are putting up their liquidity, whether it be some big firm or just like somebody who just wants to make some money on the side of their assets. We want to make these primitives like actually useful and profitable for people to use, so we keep the money on chain, make sure it's not off chain.
Amazing. And what is like, so you said you're launching Angstrom in October. That's like sort of the roadmap, the immediate plans now?
Yeah.
And I mean, are you doing any road shows for that, or like, what is the marketing strategy?
Okay. So in terms of road shows, I don't know any off the top of my head right now, right? But in terms of marketing, we're really pushing on Twitter. If you want to follow us on Twitter as well, Sorella Labs, spelled the same, one word. And yeah, so one thing we're really pushing with our marketing, right, is the concept of ASS, right? And so what does that stand for? It stands for Application Specific Sequencing, right? So it's kind of a funny name. It's a bit provocative.
I saw that in your presentation. I was like, you had those pictures of like a dog or something else.
The Doge meme, LPs without ASS versus LPs with ASS. But it's kind of funny, and I wanted to grab people's attention, it's funny because I think it's a very serious and existential problem for DeFi. But I think getting people's attention with a funny acronym like that is I think it's a good way to get people's attention.
I'm sure you got it. You got mine. That's why you're sitting here, right?
Yeah.
So it's a pleasure meeting you. And definitely, it'll be good to get to know you guys and the project, more and potentially explore any collabs that we can do with the Crypto Hub and Sorella Labs, because we want to be part of, we want like all these major like projects to be part of our ecosystem as well, so that we can share them with our users in the community and whoever can benefit. But as you said, I mean, if you could just remind what is the best way to get in touch with you and with Sorella Labs for whoever wants to get to know you guys more.
Okay. My Telegram is datbull, DATBUHL. On Twitter, you can find me at 0xknowledge, 0xKNXWLEDGE. And so it's like knowledge, but you replace the O with an X, right? And then in terms of Sorella, follow us on Twitter, Sorella Labs.
Amazing. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Thanks for having
me. Look forward to staying in touch and getting to know you more and your future collabs.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.